You're listening to the Valley Labor Report with David Story and Jacob Morrison.
I saw a tweet yesterday from Brett Favre about how he supports President Trump and like, whatever, that's fine. But one of the reasons that he said that he supports President Trump is because President Trump supports freedom of speech and freedom of expression. That's one of
I got a funny feeling where we're going here.
Yeah, that's one of the things that he said, like, I support Donald Trump because he supports freedom of speech, whatever. You want to know how much Donald Trump supports freedom of speech? His National Labor Relations Board this last week put out for public comment on whether or not they should ban Scabby the Rat from demonstrations on picket line for it being coercive. They're trying to Scabby the Rat.
Snowflakes.
No kidding. Scabby the Rat is an inflatable rat that union members take him on picket lines and blow up a big Scabby the Rat to taunt scabs, to taunt people who will cross picket lines and say to them that you're no better than a rat.
We don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. We don't want to hurt anybody's feelings.
Yeah,
here.
And so,
what I'm saying, the point that I'm trying to make is they're always talking about F your feelings. They're always talking about your feelings don't matter. What if your feelings don't matter? What are you worried about? What are you worried about a giant inflatable rat? Does it really bother you that much that there's an inflatable rat on the side of the road?
They're trying to make it illegal to have a blow-up doll in a demonstration. They're trying to make it illegal to have a balloon at a demonstration. Talk to me about freedom of speech.
Freedom of speech.
Talk to me about the First Amendment. The Trump administration, National Labor Relations Board, the body that is supposed to protect workers, the
rights.
Body that is supposed to be for workers, protecting us from employer coercion and exploitation, is trying to muzzle us in our demonstrations and trying to say what we can and cannot say. They're literally trying to tell us what we can say, what we can do on picket lines. We're not using this inflatable doll to hit people over the head with it. We're just having it on the line, and they're trying to make that illegal.
Freedom of speech. Just watch what you say.
Yeah.
Freedom of speech.
Yeah. Freedom of speech for
really
people who agree with me.
To government interventionism, and this administration, we got a few more minutes. This administration has constantly attacked freedom of speech and freedom of assembly from the get-go, and a perfect example when we talk about freedom of speech. A perfect example is what's happened in the past few months. I'm going to ask you a couple of questions, Jacob. What was the original intent of the police? Even in slave days, what was the original intent of the police?
It was to capture slaves.
To specifically, you say capture slaves, that's kind of a wide.
Right.
Specifically to protect private property. Right. Because slaves were considered private property. And throughout the years, even with the Pinkertons, it was the hired police. It was to protect private property. That is under the capitalist system, that is the entire concept of the police. Is private property is held at the highest esteem above all else. That if you own your home, if you own your land, if you own your guns, that someone cannot just come in and take those away from you. But yet, we have a platform that is private property. What would you consider Twitter a public platform? Does the government own it? Does the people own it?
No.
When you sign up for Twitter, you sign an agreement saying you agree to their terms because they own the platform. But the government because their ideas are so terrible on the right, are mad and want to take that private property of Twitter and force them to have a voice on their private property. So once again, we have this hypocrisy on the right that I'm for freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, so long as it applies to me and not anyone else. This whole, Ted Cruz was absolutely attacking Twitter last week, and it's like, do you pay for Twitter? Does any taxpayer money go to Twitter? Then you have no authority over them. Matter of fact, you should be reimbursing those CEOs for the time that they're having to waste sitting before Congress and listen to this idiot bloviate about how he's being treated unfairly. Guess what? If your policies wasn't so crap, you wouldn't be treated unfairly. That's free market at work. The free market don't care to hear what you have to say. Your policies have been terrible for the working people. So get over it.
Yeah. That's capitalism. That's private property.
Yeah.
Free enterprise.
Everything that they cheer on is hypocritical. It makes me sick to my stomach. I don't know if you've seen the video, but that's really what riled me up, because Ted Cruz getting on there and just bloviating and making a scene, and it's like, shut the hell up. Because you've been cheering on free market enterprise for years. Well, now the free market is having their way with you and you don't like it. Mm-hmm. So you want socialism?
Yeah,
you want to start a government, and my understanding is the far right has started several of these platforms. They suck. That's why nobody watches them, because they suck.
That's exactly like with the free speech that Brett Favre was talking about. That and then what I mentioned with the NLRB. It's freedom of speech for me, not for thee. Capitalism when it suits me, not when it suits you. It's the principles here are not consistent. And when I say freedom of speech, I say that everybody should have freedom of speech. I say that union members should absolutely have the right to have Scabby the Rat on the picket lines.
If you can put up a billboard on the side of the road advertising for your company, we can put up a rat on the side of the road.
Yeah, and you know what? If some dirty scabs want to have, I don't know,
snowflakes.
Yeah, if they want to have blow up snowflakes when they cross the picket line and take foods out of the mouths of striking workers, let them. I don't, that's fine with me.
Who cares?
That's fine with me. We're not trying to censor them, but the bosses and the scabs are trying to censor union folks. And we've got conservative politician types trying to censor private platforms. Now, I've got a critique of capitalism. I don't think that the profit motive in every situation incentivizes companies to do what is in the public interest. And I think that that's the case with these social media companies too. And so, I think that there may be a place for nationalization or for regulation of these companies, because I think that they should be made to serve the public interest. But we're going to leave it there. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate your time. If you want to see what we're up to throughout the week and get our snide quips about the news of the day, then you should follow us on social media. We're on Facebook at facebook.com/Valley Labor Report. We're on Twitter at Labor Reporters. I'm on Twitter at JacobM_AL. David is on Twitter at Radical Unionist. That's spelled RADICL Unionist. If you missed part of the show and want to go back and watch it later, search YouTube for The Valley Labor Report and subscribe to our channel. You can go back and watch the full show there, and we also clip segments throughout the week. And we also upload the program on more than 11 different podcasting apps. So you can see if we're on your listening platform of choice. You can go to The Valley Labor Report. transistor.fm/subscribe. And if you appreciate our work and want to help us stay on the air, then consider throwing us a couple dollars a month on patreon.com/The Valley Labor Report.